Hello. Good morning, everyone. Jessica Payne here. Welcome to Jessica Payne Live. I have a very large, very full mug of coffee. Looks like we already have some beautiful souls already aligned here with us. Who do we have today? Today, you guys, we're going to talk about mid-year planning, getting your social media strategy back on track. If you're panicking a little because we're halfway through the year, we're actually technically more than halfway through the year. And you're looking at that list of to-dos, today's show is going to make sure that social media is somewhere on that list so we don't forget it. Cool beans? First off, if you're watching me live, thank you. I'm going to see who's here. If you're catching me over on the podcast, YouTube, or maybe just on the replay, that matters too. So thank you, like, share, please subscribe wherever you're at and tell your friends. I'm excited because I actually went through an exercise I'm going to take you through today on Friday. I sat my butt down. I looked at my business model. I looked at my own social media strategy, you guys. And there's been things I've been neglecting. There's been places that I've been spending way too much time. There's been some challenges, frustrations, successes. So I actually did this on Friday. And coming out of it, that was kind of where this exercise was refined. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to share that on my show on Tuesday. So even I get frustrated. Even I stare at that list of to-dos, and even I struggle with social media. So that's the spirit of today's show, to get you guys moving and grooving. And then I'm going to share a link to this exercise so that you guys can actually take it. Let's see what we have here. How's everybody doing? Genevieve is here. We got Nancy, and who else do we have? Surya. Hello. Hi, everyone. Talking about social media today. And when I talk about social media, I'm also talking about, oh, hey, these strategies probably work for website. Think of it as sort of like, okay, August, and I know a few of you know this way better than I do. This time of year, certain things happen, certain types of energy. It's a great time to readjust and reset. That is the spirit of my week in all aspects of my life this week, is to kind of take a look at what I've been doing this past year, what's been serving me, what hasn't. You can do this in your personal life too, preach. That's what I'm doing, but also with your business model, your business, your hobbies, and of course, your social media strategy. What do I need to fix? I always ask three things: what stays, what goes, what needs to be created? You know, what are we shedding? What do we need to refocus on? And this exercise can hopefully just give you a roadmap. Roadmap is one of the most commonly sort of requested mentioned terms I get from you guys. I need a roadmap. I need a framework. Please just show me what I need to do. So this exercise is going to do it. Where is this exercise? I'm going to put it in the comments, but I'm strategery. I'm not putting it there yet because I want you guys to kind of go through the motions with me. You can take notes or you can just listen, because you're going to have all this in there. So basically, it's like a social media wellness quiz. And the spirit of it is like, okay, more than halfway through the year, you still have every opportunity to achieve results, change your social media strategy, maybe double down on areas that you've been maybe putting on the shelf. You know, you're going to start to see a lot of buzz around 2019, and I don't think that's fair. I think, you know, let's not forget that we still have, what, 4 months or 4.5 months of this year left, and you can make a lot of progress. In 4 months, anything can happen. You can totally resurrect your social media strategy. Maybe if you put it on the shelf for a while, you can make huge changes in business. That's the cool thing about social media. It moves as fast as you want it to. Cool. So social media wellness quiz. I'm going to take you through, I put together 10 questions, and this is basically like, sit down the next time, you know, after you put the kids to sleep, maybe you have 10 minutes at work. You want to carve out around 20 minutes, grab a coffee or like a frosty brew, and do this exercise with me. And I'm going to read some of them with you so you can take them with me. But essentially, there are 10 questions that I asked. And in this quiz, I give you example answers so that you can sort of, they're designed so that you can actually reflect and be honest. As I like to say, have a come to Jesus moment with where you're really at with your social media. And if you're panicking and you're like feeling like, Jessica, like I don't have a social media strategy, you're exactly where you need to be. Even if you're rocking and rolling on social media, you should still go through this this exercise. Like I took it on Friday and there were some clear holes. So how about I share with you some of the things that I learned? Because I do this for a living and even I need to take this wellness test. I realized that I've been doubling down and embracing one area, which is my course, which I love. I'm hugely passionate about it. but neglecting other important channels like LinkedIn, right? And so that was a clear result. That was data that came out of this exercise. And I'm scratching my head going, yeah, that's totally true. I know that I have a huge opportunity to engage with people, especially in the corporate world, on LinkedIn. Have I done anything? I've done squat. I've basically kind of ignored that channel. Not completely, but I've just sort of been lobbing up articles, important articles, but it's certainly not a regular part of my social media strategy. And I know it's one of those things where I've been staring at it out of the corner of my eye. I've absolutely known that I've been like ignoring it, but I didn't realize how much. But what happened was, and maybe you can relate, I've fallen in love with my course that I've been nurturing, my Live Show Mastery course, which you've heard about here on the show. So that's like captured my heart, but it's like, it's not necessarily one of my only priorities. So time, I think this exercise is also going to give you an idea of where you should spend your time, right? So my whole goal for you is to like put purpose behind every second you spend on social media so that you're not wasting time, you're getting better results. Cool beans? So how about I ask you a few of these questions just so that you can take advantage of just the thought process. But really it's designed 10 questions, 20 minutes. It's on my blog. You don't have to download anything, but I strongly encourage you to participate in it. Cool beans? And again, this is all to get your social media back on track. So if you do it tonight, I'd say do it tonight or today. Let it set, revisit it in a couple weeks. Like use this week as the opportunity to just really assess and then just start to put down some goals. And I linked to my 5-step process in the blog post. So you're like, what do I do next? So there's a strategy and a trajectory to it. All right. So the first question that I really want to ask that we should all start with, and it's really scary, is have I truly committed to social media so far this year? Have I truly committed to social media strategy so far this year? And this is like where you need to be brutally honest, right? I'll put this question up. Have I truly committed to social media so far this year? You could say yes. You could say hell no. You could say what social media? You could say, yeah, I had a strong first part of the year, but now I've totally like forgotten it. So that's the first question. If you want, take a second. You can even jot it down right now. Have I truly committed to social media so far this year? Yes or no, somewhere in between. An example answer could be, heck no, I need to get my together, which is probably where you're at, which is totally fine. But we have to start with getting real about where we're at. You can't build a strategy if you haven't assessed where you're at, right? Just like in anything. Have I truly committed to social media for this year? Take a minute if you want right now and write down a very real, just be honest answer. You probably know straight away what your answer is. Teresa, how are you? I loved your message this morning. Teresa saying, I don't think I have, although I do engage it every day. You're a rock star. Because I follow you. You're a perfect example of someone who's embracing new channels and just going for it. You guys, you should follow Teresa on Instagram. You're doing everything from posts. Wait, you're doing posts, you're doing podcasts, and you've embraced live video all in the past, what, month? Yeah. So Teresa's proof, you guys, that it's like, we still have plenty of time this year for you to get your social media back on track, like plenty of time. You can switch, like this time next week, you could be rocking and rolling on some of the first things you do. First question, have I truly committed to social media so far this year? For those of you just joining, we are going through a couple of questions from my social media wellness quiz. This is an exercise. It's mid-year or halfway through the year. Perfect time for you to just like get real with your social media strategy. Go through this exercise and then get your plan back on track. Teresa, you're saying this feels like a never-ending activity. It is. Social media is a full-time job. Most of you have other full-time jobs. But I'm here to tell you it's my full-time job. But the beautiful thing about social media is technology, soapbox, technology is no longer the barrier to social media. Anyone can do it, which means it's easy for us to fall down the rabbit hole of trying to be everywhere at once. Maybe we're committing to places that aren't really our priority, but more fun. So having a roadmap and framework is the best thing you can do, just like any strategy, any plan. You need to like sort of set your plan in place and just follow that plan, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed, to waste time. I mean, raise your hand if you feel frustrated. Like the other day, I was like, did I do anything today? Because I was falling down the rabbit hole of social media. And that was one of the things that sparked me on Friday, sitting my butt down and taking this exercise. Very real, folks. Teresa's saying, Instagram, video, podcast, Facebook, everything. Thanks, Jess. I'm also glad you follow my stuff. Absolutely. You guys, let me know your handles, your channels, whatever. I'd love to follow you. That's my favorite thing. I love to cheer you on. That's what I live for. All right, so the first question was about getting real. How about we go to the next question? How can social media help me accomplish my goals? And I'll put it up for you guys in my little comment section. How can social media help me accomplish my goals? And you guys, there's 10 questions. I'm only going to zip through maybe three to five. Let's see if we can get through 5 today. But don't worry, you can write these down or not. I'm going to put a link after I wrap up to the full exercise, just so I have your attention. Yes? So the second question is, how can social media help me accomplish my goals? An example answer could be, it can help me reach a global audience, especially with new features like live streaming. What I've heard from small businesses and folks who, and agencies too, when they're trying to do demos, when they're trying to get in front of either media, press, donors, potential customers, maybe they have a product or a prototype, live streaming is like, they don't need to, they suddenly have, there are no boundaries to how many people they can reach. So that's why a lot of people are embracing live streaming, is to get their stuff beyond their city, their state. Like for the first time ever, we can, you can broadcast your living room, maybe you don't want to, or your boardroom, or maybe your lab to anywhere in the world, thanks to live streaming. So that's an example of like, oh, how can social media help me accomplish my goals? If one of your goals is to create greater awareness, just to reach a global audience, live streaming can help you do that. And think of it in very simple terms. Don't feel like you need to speak strategy or use jargon. Like just literally think, how can social media help you? Like, and if you're fuzzy on that, maybe you need to go back and think about what your goals are for the rest of the year. Maybe they've changed. Has your business model changed? Do you have a new product or service? Or did you just launch something? Maybe you're pulling back a little. Align it to your goals. Teresa is saying, oh my God, I had the same thought. I get up with motivation and fall down a rabbit hole. Content overwhelm is real. I have experienced it. Again, technology is no longer the barrier, meaning we can download pretty much any app on our phone. We're constantly dazzled with new bells and whistles. We'll embrace them. I go through this as well. And then you just fall in love with something. And all of a sudden, a day has gone by where you maybe have created a video, or you're suddenly a podcaster, and you kind of wake up and go, wow, was that worth my time? And then maybe for the next couple of weeks, you embrace something, and then you kind of pull back and go, wait, I've created a lot of stuff, but nobody's doing anything with it. That is a typical scenario. I think we all experience that. And then sometimes what happens after we don't get those results, we kind of get a little down on ourselves. That's very real. And then we just get overwhelmed because all of a sudden we've started a new channel and we're like, how am I going to feed this beast? Right. Again, so that's why going through something like this exercise, where are you spending your time? Is it worth it? Just because it's fun doesn't necessarily mean it should be a priority. Like, I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned too. How about we jump to another question? How's everyone doing? Who else do we have here? I think we had a couple of new faces joining. For those of you just joining, again, we're talking about, it's mid-year. We're halfway through the year. It's a good time to shed what's not serving you. Social media tends to be something people feel they have to do, probably because you're trying to run your own business or you're trying to run your own teams. You're just trying to pay the bills. There are other priorities. So why not spend 20 minutes right now, take a look at the reality of your social media strategy. Let's see if we can tweak a few things. Hello from Cincinnati. That's like the best comment ever. How's it going, Catherine? Hello from Cincinnati, coming in hot. I love that. It's like, Catherine's in the house. We gotta get serious now. Catherine, we're talking about social media, talking about how to reset. There's gonna be a handy dandy link when I wrap up with this, a little fun exercise on my blog. You can take 10 questions for you to get real with your social. We just asked 2. We're going to jump into the next question. So if you want, you can participate right now or just listen. Cincinnati in the house. I love it. Every time you join, I think you should just say hello from Cincinnati with that much spirit. I love it. Because it's 8:15 a.m. here in Los Angeles at the time of this broadcast, and I could use more energy. All right, third question. I'm going to jump around, and you guys are like, what is she looking at? I'm literally looking at my blog post that's going to go live right after this broadcast. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good nugget, y'all. What value am I offering through social media content to build trust and be memorable? This is so much better than asking, what am I going to post? What am I going to tweet? Which is probably your version of the question. Come from a place of value. So here's an example answer. People like my free tools and insights, which keeps them engaged on my channels and coming back each week. So the value I'm bringing is free stuff, which everyone likes. Free tips. I do this weekly live show. I always try to make it actionable. I use insights. I also give away free stuff like this quiz. So the value I'm bringing is like, hey, I know you guys have told me, and I know it's like, I never want to make everything of mine inaccessible. I think there are people out there who like to tout all their wares, and then you always have to sign up for something or download or whatever or subscribe. But and this is one of my 2018. This is what I want to do. This is one more output from my exercise. I want to offer more through my blog. I want to offer more through this show. I'm actually offering more through my newsletter too. So a variety, but I think the value at the end of the day that I have chosen, I've sat with it, it's the conscious choices. I want to make sure that whatever I'm providing consistently, at least once a week, here on the show or through my blog, is insights and tools. The value I bring are things that can allow you to actually move the needle very, very quickly. What about you? Are any kernels of knowledge emerging as you go through this exercise? Teresa's saying, I try to help people build new skills and have fun learning. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, Teresa is a teacher, an educator. She works with, I think, preschool, right? Yeah, which you'll know if you follow her social. So the value she brings is I try to help people build new skills and have fun learning. She's a teacher, the noblest of vocations. Catherine Sears, cool. I do too. Catherine, anything coming to mind when you go through this exercise? You could so change all these questions and make them like a personal thing. Like, what value am I offering through my community to build trust and be memorable? Yeah, you could totally like replace the social media with community conversation. And this could totally be like a relationship quiz. It's a twofer. So maybe do the social media one first and then do the personal one. I'm totally going to do it. All right, what is another question? Here's the meaty one. I'm loving it. Does my content accurately reflect who I am? Sit with that for a minute. Here's an example answer. Not really. It's mostly just articles I share. Raise your hand if that's you. I see a lot of this, and it's okay. I think the first thing people want to do is maybe two things. Look smart. And through that, just looking like they're active on social. So one of the easiest things to do is like find some articles and share them. Because you're at least hitting the baseline, I think, of like, hey, you're still providing value. It's an article, you know, oh, it's from the New York Times or from NPR. That's a baseline. Does that accurately reflect who you are? Probably not, because your content really isn't balanced. So this is a good question to get you starting to think about the ecosystem, if you will, of your content. Is it way too much article sharing, or is it way too much about you? Is what you're saying no longer reflective of who you are? You know, what I've learned from shifting from corporate to my own practice is businesses change all the time. And if you don't pay attention, your messaging, not just your website, but your messaging, your content needs to change with it. Not just around new services or products, but it's like if you rebrand or if you start to kind of lean into a certain strength, if you don't sometimes that doesn't even resonate on your social media. Like you've done all this work, typical scenario, you've done all this work on your website, yet your social media doesn't necessarily really reflect that. Does my content accurately reflect who I am? Good question. Teresa's saying, I share different kinds of things in different places. That's an interesting point. Me too. Yeah. Another purpose for this exercise was for me to try to create more consistency. Consistency is a magic word. That it's at the end of the day, and at the end, the very last question is here is goal setting. And my goal for the remainder of this year is more consistency. And I think a lot of you probably feel that too. For some of you, consistency might just be like, I need to post more. Fair enough. For me, it's more like I want to make sure that all of my content is kind of marching along the same lines, supporting in similar ways, literally reiterating the same point to make sure it's all one consistent message. Yeah. I share different things in different places too. Like one huge difference is on my IGTV channel, which I think was it last week or the week before I officially launched. It is kind of a similar spirit to this. It's marketing and brand tips and tricks, but it's serving specifically the queer community and their allies. So there's a clear example of like the content's going to shift slightly different there. And that's okay. That's another thing. If you have, and I have a podcast too, so it's like you can have different channels with different types of content that can still work together to communicate who you are consistently. You know, you might dive deep in a podcast or a blog post, or you might just keep it really, really light and fun on a place like Instagram, or more real time and tweeting your thoughts when you're out and about on Twitter. But if it's all sort of you, if you're confident in your brand, whether it's a personal brand or your company, and that's where getting a framework can be, it can still be consistent, but different channels can certainly share different types of personalities. You just don't want completely different content on different channels that might confuse potential customers. Does that make sense? I was doing that. I still do it. Like I'm busy running my business. Like social media for me, it's like, I think some people probably think I just do this all day. It's like, well, yeah, I market my business, but it's like, I have clients to serve and I have campaigns to write. And, so it's like, I experience the same exact thing you do. Just because I do brand and digital and social media all day doesn't mean I'm constantly doing it for myself. So I fall into the same rabbit holes, challenges, traps. I have the same frustrations that you guys do. Hence the exercise. You actually inspired me with this quiz. Yay. And I like the 2 Z's quiz. I think I need to create a place like this to get people engaged with me. If I've inspired one person, I'm happy. So I'm done. I should just sign off now. Done. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and that's another thing. Let's inspire each other. Let's support each other. Keep me posted on that. I want to know what your thoughts are in terms of getting people engaged with me. Tell us a little bit more if you don't mind sharing. I'd love to know, Teresa, like what little kernel of an idea is popping for you. Maybe we can workshop it right now. What else do we have? How about one more question, you guys? I want to keep these shows short and sweet. And again, I will link to it in the comments. So if you're watching this on the replay, the link is already there. That's where you can jump to my blog and literally read through. I'd actually recommend go wicked old school, Control P, print it out. Print it out. And the next time you have 20 minutes, you can find 20 minutes. Like put Real Housewives on pause, take a break between your binging. Once you put the kids to sleep, pour a glass of wine because you deserved it. And then take this exercise. Set it aside and then revisit it if you want. I think you're going to get some clarity. Just the sooner you do this, I think some of those frustrations are gonna go away. One more question. How about that? Oh, this is a good one. Let's leave it here. All right. I think that I've shown technically 6 questions. A brand or an organization that I enjoy following on social media is blank because blank. let's not forget that we're fans of other companies, other organizations, other brands. There are a few that come to mind. For me, I love a company called Glossier, Glossier. They do like face lotions and moisturizers. Not apples to apples with my business. And here's another challenge. Just fill out this question with the first one that comes to mind. It doesn't have to be like a competitor, although it can. I was tempted to answer this with like a social media type channel, but to be fair, they're not my favorite to follow. I'm just a regular human being, and I like other people too. So Glossier, they have a really, they're sort of a subscription or mail order. I think you can only order them online, just cosmetics. Like I use their face moisturizer and their halo stick, and and they're great. And the whole customer experience with them, I love. The newsletters are funny and cheeky. Their social media posts are clean and minimalistic. Pink tends to be their color. It's such a nice breath of fresh air. Like I will actually read their newsletter, which is a testament. But like just everything about their visual brand, their calls to action, their messaging, it's just a delight to read. It just seems easy to digest. And so for me, they stand out. Am I using their strategy for their clients? I definitely take notes on how they do. I think in terms of, I like brands that have a really clear personality personally, and they absolutely do. But then when they have a really sleek design as well, visual design, and then just their messaging is on point, it's simple, it's not pushy. They were ticking all my boxes. So for me, I would answer that question with Glossier, Glossier. No, I'm not an affiliate. I'm a customer. Highly recommended, by the way. All right, Teresa, looks like you've got some great feedback. Let's give a hand to Teresa, y'all. And she's a good example. Come on the show, we can workshop stuff. Like, I'd rather workshop challenges for you. It doesn't always have to be me talking. I'm gonna get some more guests on the show. That's another thing I'm kind of realigning. Who do I wanna bring on the show? Is it gonna serve you guys? I don't wanna put another talking head up. Can I make these as helpful as possible? So you'll probably see some more faces pop in. I had a lot of guests last year. It is probably going to be a little bit more of a balance this year. But it's all serving you. So you tell me what you want. Teresa's saying, well, I love how this quiz gets people thinking about how we can tweak our content. Yes. So I think creating a quiz for how I help people would inspire people to share more and work with me. Oh, so you're going to create a quiz. I love that. Yeah. Create your own quiz. Oh my gosh. You're a teacher. You could probably roll these out. One of these days I'm going to have you on and we can talk about teaching styles. That kernel just popped for me. Yeah, because I'm fascinated with behavior and repetition and obviously this show I just see as a teaching tool, to be fair. Cool. Keep us posted. I want to know if you're going to write your own quiz and what you're going to do. I love that. Love it. Love it. Cincinnati, where'd you go? Catherine, here she goes. I've been putting together a memorable list, jotting down things that make other people memorable to me. Oh, I love that. I love that. So for example, is it like, and do you just jot down qualities or literally what made them pop to you? I love that. That's a fun exercise. I might start doing that just for fun. I think in my personal life and for business, it's sort of, I try to pay attention and listen and look for signs. I don't like aggressively look for signs, but I'm trying to be, mindfulness, try to be open and be like, follow the breadcrumbs. What is happening? Try to be more observant. I feel like that captures the spirit of mindfulness if you're into that. I love that. A memorable list. Jotting down things that make other people memorable to me. I love that. My guess is maybe emotional connection is a big part of that list. Keep us posted on that too, Catherine. That's really valuable. Yeah, it's like number one is they talk to me. Yeah. I never want to talk at you guys. If I ever do, you just let me know. Tough love. It's cool. I'm open to it. Again, another thing I want to do on this channel is just make sure that I'm putting you first. Of course, I have quizzes and downloads and I have ebooks. I have a lot of content planned this year. But first and foremost, I think this is the spirit of the channel going forward. So I want to make sure that I'm talking to you. So tell me if I'm not. I can take it. I'm a big girl. I saw you on with RJ and you were memorable. Haha. Yes. Excellent. She makes anyone memorable. RJ's amazing. Black belt bots, y'all. She's not on this morning. She's usually somewhere in the comments, but she's busy. Busy. So, but yeah, RJ Redden, she's the bomb. Can I even say she's the bomb? Is the bomb still in? I don't know. I feel like the 80s and 90s are coming back. I still say wicked and I still say rad. So that's cool. Guys, I have to follow my own rules. It's 8:31 or 31 wherever you're at. And I need to keep these shows short and sweet. Are there any other questions? I'm going to put the link right now as we close out the show to this quiz. What I would love to do is reach out to me after you've done this exercise. You can do it anonymously and let me know what some of your thoughts are. Ask me a question, because by the time this time next week, I'd love to have workshopped a few with you, and we can just do it right on Messenger in a quiz. I would just love to hear your reactions to it. Is anything missing that I need to add? Because again, I want to make sure that this serves you guys. So link is coming in hot. Where else can you find me as I wrap up? After every show here on Facebook, I'm actually going to jump over to Instagram. I do a quick highlight reel, and that's a whole channel with a lot more content too that you can stay tuned. So if you're on Instagram, follow me over there. I'm at jpaynebu, which I can link to in the comments. I should always have this ready, but I don't. That's where you can jump right now or after every show to catch my highlight reel and just follow me there. Please, please, please follow me if you're on Instagram. I'm begging. One of my goals is I'm going to be doing a lot more on that channel. It's been a great experience so far, and I want to increase my followers. So share me if you find the content valuable. Cool beans, but I'm still here. I'm still here to stay on Facebook. But again, one of the things that emerged for me was it's like, all right, different channels with different personalities. Where people might prefer to gather. Not everyone on Instagram comes over to Facebook and vice versa, which is why I'm exploring some new fun stuff on Instagram. So help me get that channel up and running, will ya? Hit follow. Teresa, I already followed you. Yes, you do. Thank you very much. And we reciprocate, right, guys? And she is saying, oh, I look forward to your stuff. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate that. Well, I think my captions are doing something weird, so hopefully you can still see my face. But I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching Jessica Payne Live. Thanks for listening. For those of you who are listening, wondering where this quiz is, it's going to be in all the descriptors, so just scroll down there if you want. There's a little Easter egg in the blog post too. If you haven't downloaded my 5-step how to inspire action on social media in 5 steps, it's a formula. I speak to it at workshops and conferences, and it's an ebook I put out last year. It's actually, there's a link to it in the actual blog post. So again, if you're like, okay, I finished the exercise, what do I do now? There's actually, you can get the ebook, and those are more fixed steps that you can take that I use every time I build a social media strategy and every time I sit down to write a post. So again, I'm trying to make this more helpful for you all. So that's your natural next step. Oh, Guadalupe, how you doing? I haven't seen you in ages. She's saying she follows me. I don't know if you can see those comments. I'm trying to put them up, but they're not appearing on my end, so hopefully you can see them. Catherine Sears is saying, tech note on Live Video Hub, there was no link for the live comments page, so I came to your actual page. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think there are some glitches with that, but thank you. I appreciate you coming to my actual page. Thank you, thank you. Guys, it's been real. Thanks for joining Jessica Payne Live. For those of you just joining, hit replay. There's tons of goodies. Check the comments for that links in that exercise and take it. And again, reach out to me. You can do it here in the comments or anonymously, and let me know if this exercise worked for you. It's just right on my blog. You don't have to download it. Cool? Thanks, guys. Coming back, just check back on this page throughout the week. I'm going to have some other goodies I'm going to be dropping, some more content. If there's something you want to see in this show or on this page, please let me know. I've heard things about I need to dive deeper into visibility, storytelling, engagement. Those are 3 things. And then also on the business side, how to say no more comfortably with confidence to business. But if there's something you want me to touch on, let me know. It has to do with brand, social media, or business. And I'm pretty sure I can cover it. Cool beans? All right, you guys, thanks for joining. I'm going to jump over now to Instagram. to honor that audience too with a quick highlight reel. Otherwise, you guys have fun with the exercise. I hope you find it helpful. And I'll see you soon. I'll give a shout out. Thank you, Catherine, for joining. Guadalupe, Teresa, Nancy Genevieve. I think Surya was here too. Thanks so much, you guys. You make this a lot more rewarding and fun when you show up every single week. So, all right, take care and happy mid-year planning. See you soon. Bye.